Now this is my first ever mistake or first ever situation that I was like, I panicked like crazy. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you've not subscribed, please subscribe. So it's a Saturday afternoon. I'm just sitting here, I'm chilling, I'm off work today, which is a good thing because it rarely happens. And I just thought of sharing a story, let me say a story of the first time I made a mistake as a nurse and how I reacted to this mistake and what I did next. So where to start? So at this point I was still a student. I studied nursing at JKUAT in Kenya, and this may come as surprising to you if you're in Kenya. Yes, I studied nursing in JKUAT. JKUAT has nursing and medicine too. So on this particular day I was a student. We were doing our rotations still as students, and you know, for me, I'm a very squeamish person. How I'm a nurse, I still don't know. How I've developed the courage over time, I still don't know. I still can't explain it. But from the get-go, I was those people who, it took me so much courage to give my first injection. It took me doing an exam to do my first delivery, you know. It took me so much courage to do different procedures because I would just get myself, like, I remember I had such a hard time in the burns unit when we were doing our surgical rotation, and just doing the dressing and the patient is and crying, and it's like I'm feeling that pain. So I want to be gentle, but at the same time you can't be gentle because you need to get the work done for the good of the patient. So I'm those types of people, but I think being in the profession for some time now has made me become, you know what, you need this, it's for your own good, let's get it done. So anyway, so at this point I remember, now this is my first ever mistake or first ever situation that I was like, I panicked like crazy. So we were doing pediatric rotation, and this patient was due for, I remember it was lunchtime, and I think they were due for some medication. And if I'm not wrong, I think it was benzyl penicillin or something like that, because that is like the most common antibiotic used in Kenya. So now the patient in this case is a baby, is a child. So they didn't have a cannula. But this particular medication you can either give as IM, which is intramuscular, or IV in the vein. So they didn't have a cannula. So what I needed to do was to mix the medication and give it as IM injection because they don't have a venous access. So in this case, I mix the medication and start giving it. And you know, in pediatrics, the mom is there. On the ward, the mom is there, the mom or the dad. Because nowadays we see a few dads bringing their babies to the hospital. Yay for gender equality. But yeah, so the mom is there with the baby. So I go there, and yeah, I've set up everything. I am confident. I've mixed my medication. I have my alcohol rub, alcohol wipe to cleanse the skin. I'm ready to go. So I go, I give the injection. So as I'm giving the injection, you know, when you give intramuscular, you need to pinch the skin like this, like so that when you put the needle at 90 degrees, it goes inside the muscle. So I'm just seeing it swelling up, and I'm wondering, okay, what's happening? And you know, the mom is there. So the kid is crying, of course, the injection is painful, the kid is crying. So me, as I'm giving it, it's swelling. Now I'm panicking inside, but I have to be brave, like, because I'm supposed to be a medic, I'm supposed to know what I'm doing. So and instead of stopping, I gave the entire injection that I had made. I gave the whole amount, and what ended up happening was a huge swelling on the thigh, because I was giving the injection on the thigh. And that's, now I am panicking. The baby is crying, the mother is confused, the mother is looking at me like, what's going on? I don't have an explanation for it. So my heart just sank, honestly, like, oh my God. So I approach the nurse who was there that afternoon, because it was now an afternoon shift, who was there, and I tell him, I've just given an injection, go and have a look if the baby is okay. And she goes and have a look, and she knows it's swollen. But you know, nurses who've been in the system for long, they don't panic over everything. So she's like, yeah. How? Now she started investigating. How did you reconstitute this medication? What amount did you give? You know, what was the dose you gave? So what happened is that I reconstituted the medication for the IV injection instead of the IM. So you know, when you are reconstituting to give intramuscularly, you use a little bit of fluid, like less fluid, just to make it a small amount. But when you're giving it intravenous, you need to reconstitute it with a lot of fluid, so that when it goes to the vein, it sort of flushes, you know, flushes everything. So my mistake was reconstituting it for the wrong reason, or for the wrong use, because the drug was correct, the dose was correct. What I had missed was the amount of solution I needed to use to reconstitute. So yeah, she looks at it, she says, no, it will be fine, it's just that the muscle or the leg is going to be sore for a certain period. You know, we just need to put some compresses on it, some cold compress, to just relieve the swelling and the pain. So immediately I confirmed the baby is not going to die from that. I just left the ward and I went to these huts. There were these huts back in the day that we used to chill there at lunchtime, or whenever, you know, we just go and chill there. So I went there and sat there and started asking myself questions. Am I going to make it in this profession? Why did I choose this profession? Can I quit now? And if I quit now, what are my options? And at that point I was in second year, and I was super devastated. Like, honestly, I started asking myself, if I quit now, what are my options? Can I go and start you know, doing another course, maybe BCom, you know, BBIT, not too bad. Yeah, I can start, you know, it's not too late. I'm just in second year, I've not lost much time. And it haunted me for a few weeks. Now after that, like, it sort of also affected my self-esteem. I would just go there and, you know, just go behind people, and I don't want to give medication. And I sort of I want to think that was the beginning of my dislike for pediatrics, if I can say. Like, it was the beginning of my pediatrics, like, even up to date. I'm no, I'm never ever finding myself in pediatrics. So that's just my first experience with making a mistake or an error. And let me tell you, it's not like it was the last one. I've made other errors along the line, you know, because you think that this is the last one, I'm going to be careful moving forward, but it's a learning curve. So every time you find yourself, you come across things that you've not done before, and you find that you make mistakes along the way, but what is important is what you do after the mistake or after the error that you make. So please, if you're a new nurse, you're a junior nurse, you're a student nurse doing your placements, please, I'd like to know, what have you done that made you rethink your life choices? That made you rethink your existence? You know, that's the time you start thinking, why am I even on earth? What am I doing with my life? You know, those sort of questions. And yeah, please share with me those stories. And if you've not subscribed to my channel, please do. Please share it with your friends, and also follow me on different social media platforms. I share content around transitioning from school to work, and also transitioning from working in one country and coming to the UK in particular, because that is where I currently work. That is it from me today. Have yourself a nice time. Keep taking care of your health. Thank you and bye.